All right, looks like we're being recorded. Welcome those of you who are with us live and those of you who are joining us after the fact. We love you all. We hope you're having a great day. And today we're going to be taking a closer look at Canva. Canva has just kind of been growing over the years and years, and I keep hearing more and more and more about it. But it's really got some amazing tools and features and some helps. And I think Chris is going to take the lead today, but it sounds like she's swearing off Google Slides for Canva slides. So let's see if she can convince me today. So Chris, go ahead. Thanks.
Hey, thanks, Clint. And I will say this is the first time that I've used it to present with. So if I can do this through Zoom, anybody can do it, right? So welcome to our Tuesday Tech Talk. Thanks, Clint. There's the links if you need them. And you see, we have nice little animations already, and those were so much easier than trying to figure them out in Google. But I remember back in the day of teaching kids how to use PowerPoint, where they thought animations had to be added to everyone. No, you don't want to do that. Just keep it nice and smooth and have a little motion, but not a bunch of different changes. So again, welcome. I'm Chris Hott, and you've already met Clint Stevens. We are going to show you talk about Canva. So we always start with the big why. Why should we use Canva? I've been using Google Slides for years and just thought, no, I use Canva for making posters and memes and more, print type stuff, but I never really used it till presentations, till we started looking at this. But it's a really great way. You can incorporate lesson plans, infographics, presentations. And this one here, I actually used AI in Canva, and I just said, give me a presentation that shows how to make Canva pop. And it built this presentation up until some later slides that I added. So it was really easy to start. And I'll show you how you can do that for a content area as well. So Canvas has thousands of templates. So, when you go do a Google slideshow, then, you have those 6 templates, unless you use something like Slides Carnival or something like that and import. But here it's super easy to be able to find images like this. And you can also collaborate with students and educators in real time. I'm also using this to plan for the presentation for our autism conference Saturday. And I was able to include other people on our team to be able to add things. Super easy to drag and drop things, really easy to use. Okay. And this is something y'all probably know, that when kids can see things, hear things, they are engaged a little bit more and they learn a little bit better. That's nothing new for you folks. Okay. And then the financials. Remember where I said that I asked AI to produce this for me? Well, AI did get this part wrong, because everywhere else, people have to pay for some of these extra features. But here, with Canva has offered free for educators. So if you're an educator, you just have to do a little simple step and it prompts you right through it, where you sign up for a free account and then you verify. And as long as they can verify that you have a school email, then they'll do it. Because our email is not a school email, I just had to take a picture of my badge and submit that, and they did it. So they'll take a photo of anything, and then within 24 hours, they approved it, and I was ready to go. Okay, so how can you use it in the classroom? I've got some links here because I don't think we're going to have time to explore all of the links, but I want you to go back and look at those, because Clint's putting the link to the slides in the chat, and will be on the follow-up as well. But you can make storybooks. So think how awesome this would be to create a template for a storybook and have kids build a story. So start with the characters and the plot, and everybody can be working on it together. Okay. A lot of these things are still similar, what we use Google Slides for, but I feel like we just have more options for content to be added into it. You can search different content areas. Similar to Nearpod, they have content already in there. It's not something that you would really teach from, but it's a great place to start from. So like I sampled, give me a 3rd grade story or 3rd grade presentation about the rock cycle. And it gave me a pretty good sample that was a good thing to start with, which for me is great, because Clint's the creative one in our office. He can just create things that are visually amazing. Me, I'm just not creative when it comes to that, but seeing those templates and just being able to add and edit to me was great. And that's what this template is here. I just replaced some of the font. And then just happened to come across a great article from the fabulous Matt Miller, and 20 ways to use Canva. So he's got all sorts of different type of projects to be able to use. So we're not going to focus as much on projects and content area, but some of the tools that you can use today, but also doing class assignments similar to Google Classroom, or when in Canvas, when we use the Google LTI 1.3, where it does that. Take this, make a copy and assign it to every student. Canva does that. And it also integrates with Google Classroom and Canvas. We haven't got the Canvas ones set up yet, but I'm working on that. If we see some interest, we can surely make that happen. Any questions so far? Okay. Okay, some other really neat tools, and we'll look at these, are text to image. Okay, so if you can just type in, show me a panda riding a surfboard, it'll give you an image. It's that AI feature coming back. You can also record. So say that Clint and I weren't able to be here today to be live. I could do the same thing what I'm doing now and record it without using Zoom, and I could record it and just send this out. So think if you were creating work for students and a tutorial for students, you combine those tools of slides and something like Screencastify or Loom, but it's got that built-in screen recorder that's really nice. And then Magic Design, that's where I talked about where you can use AI to kind of go in there and say, make me something that does this. Okay. And as I was going through all of this, and it was like going down the rabbit hole, right? I kept, oh, let me look at this. And then I would find out it can do this and this. But everywhere I found great tutorials. I found a lot of stuff on YouTube as well, and just by Googling things. But within Canva, there's some great tutorials on how to do things. There's nothing worse than getting a new tool or trying to do something and getting stuck every time. I didn't have that problem because there was just help everywhere. And then I'll show you a minute in notes. And then presenter view, we'll look at that right now. So I'm going to escape out of this. Now I've escaped out of present mode, right? And so we're on that same slide, but now I have these notes and I can collapse it. But if I click this notes button right down here, then you can put your notes in here. So if you wanted to talk about certain points, and we know that we don't put a bunch of text on slides, right? That just gets overwhelming. So you use bullet points, and then you can put your notes off to the side and then be able to use that to kind of fill in or things, oh, I wanted to remember to just talk about certain things. So some of the things I wanted to talk about were the notes that were right here, and then the bubbles, and now I forgot where the bubbles were. The bubbles are, I've got it in a later slide, but you can, when you're presenting, that's what it was. When you're in presenter view, go back to present. And presenter view has these two screens. So see how I have this smaller screen? This would be the audience window. And once I'm in the audience window, we go full screen. So now that's what the kids would see, right? But now, so I would pull that over to my second screen and I would be able to see presenter window right here. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so then you can be able to see your presenter mode. So now I'm going to exit out of presenter mode. But before that, I wanted to show you the bubbles. Sorry. So I'm going to put this back. This is what the kids are seeing. You come up to these three little dots and, oh, that wasn't it. There we go. So you have these magic shortcuts. Yeah, I saw so many features, I can't remember them. You have these magic shortcuts. And if you do bubbles, oh, I didn't turn the sound on, but it's making sound too. Okay, but let's see, that was behind there, sorry. Let me fix that and do that again. Am I getting you dizzy yet? Okay, so
We're
now
seeing that one window.
You're seeing the smaller or the big one?
The one that has the timer blur quiet bubbles drop down.
Okay. So take my word for it. When I do this bubbles, what the kids see is all these bubbles coming down, or confetti, or curtain call. And I even saw one where it said you can do quiet and make everybody quiet. So that only shows on the same. So apparently it's not going to let me show both. Let's see if I can try now. Yeah, it sends it to the back when I do it. So we'll have to
share that window.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna have to stop sharing. I don't know if it'll let me do it that way. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we
Instead
go.
of just sharing a
Yeah,
complete screen, just share a window.
share this one. Yep. Okay, so now you can see that one. Now watch,
Yep.
bubbles.
Oh, very nice.
So pop the bubbles, and it's making sound too.
I didn't know I could pop them. Do it again.
Yeah, so turn the sound on. Oh,
Not getting any.
yeah, we didn't turn the sound on. But then there's confetti.
Like that.
Yeah. And then curtain call.
That's great.
And then mic drop. But then if you wanted the kids to be quiet, okay, and then there's a timer as well. So all of those are features that you can use to kind of keep those kids' attention. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing that screen, and then I'm gonna go back and share my other screen. Now, again, if you were in the classroom using your computer, you would put the one screen up on your screen so it would work. Let's make sure I do the right one now. Oops. Sorry, there we go. Okay, so now you can see my present view again.
Yeah, we got your whole desktop.
Oh, okay, let me just make it bigger. Okay, so those are some of the neat things that you can do. So let's go take a look. We're going to we're in Canva right now, but we're just looking at it kind of in a present mode. So when I come over to here, then it has this design right here. So I want to start adding some designs, but I don't want to add them to this slide. I want to make a new slide. So if I just come down to the end of the slides down here on the bottom, and I say add a page, they're called pages, not slides. So then it's here, and I could move it down here, or if you're like me, when I do a presentation, I usually make a bunch of slides of all the different things I want to do, and then I put them in the right order. So then I could go to grid view, and I could say, oh yeah, I'm going to want this one right here. And then you kind of move the way that you're presenting on that. So it's really easy to kind of move slides around. Okay, so now I've got this blank slide to play with. So I mentioned a little bit about magic design. And so we'll go across the top right here first. First, we have all of these templates, just thousands and thousands of templates that you can sort by color, by business, all sorts of different things. And then if you want to get if you're more, want to get more, dig down deeper into different styles and layouts, you can do that. I haven't even touched that part yet because there's so much just in the ready-made stuff. But the magic design is really cool. So it's a presentation. Lisa, you got something in mind, or who else is on with us?
I have to think for a minute. I don't know.
Okay, should have asked that question before. And then I'm not sure whose pace V is, but we'll say presentation for a 3rd grade geology. How's that? Okay, and then you just hit enter.
Was this going to do a slide or a brand new presentation?
This is going to be a brand new one.
Oh,
So
that's
this
cool.
is just showing you things. Okay, so here there's it'll show you 6 results, and you can look at the different styles. Basically, the information is the same in each one. It's just the style. So if I click on this one, it will show me, let that load. So it will show you. Now, what a great start this is, right?
Yeah.
So you could say, create my presentation, and then it just opens up a new presentation for you to be able to edit and add your own content to.
Cool.
Okay. Or if you say, well, that's not quite what I want, because as Clint and I have both been learning with AI, you have to be pretty specific, probably just like Google searches, right? So you could start again and refine your ask and then get better results. Okay. So those are the top 3 and the magic design. And now we're going to come here and look at all of these things that you can add. If you've used Adobe Express, some of this might look a little bit familiar, but see, all of these just gives you a variety of things. There's images, videos, audio, chart, just all sorts of things that you can add to it. And I'll just come up to the top, I'll say, I want to add this, and I just click it, and it's done. So I could resize it, and even when you're doing text, it's really cool because it just resizes the text really nice. If I wanted to duplicate it, then I could. Now I've got two. Also, if I wanted to change the colors, I can just come up here and change the color and pick this color. We'll pick that one. I don't know why it's not changing. Okay, I don't know. But when you're on these, you can also trash it. And then there's some other choices that you can, duplicate, comment, lock, and do other things. I don't know why that, document colors. Photo colors. Maybe that one won't let you change colors. Maybe not. So you can add those things to it. So you have all these different elements, or you could search. So if I searched for bubbles, now I've got all these bubbles, and easy as that, I can just put them in. Now what I learned too is if I did that, but I wanted the hand on top, I can come here and I can say layer, and I could say send it backwards. So now it's going to be on top. I'll try that again.
Send it all the way back.
Yeah. Send to back. Yeah. Send. Yeah, there we go. See, now the hand is on top. Okay. So just cool, fun little things. So there's tons of different uploads, all sorts of different shapes and things. You can also upload files. You can record yourself right into it. You can add images, videos, and audio. So you can see these are all things over the past couple weeks, all the files that I've uploaded. So what's really nice for me is if I had some logos down here, some of these logos that I use quite a bit, I usually kept on a folder on my desktop or in my drive. But now they're all kind of right here. So if there's things that you're going to use all the time, it's super easy just to pop it right in. And then I can resize it. I can move it around. I can do all sorts of things with it. So, or I can just say upload pictures. Okay, I can upload them from my desktop, or I can connect to my Google Drive or Dropbox if anybody still uses that. Also Facebook, but I don't know that I would be connecting my Facebook to my work one. Or your Google Photos. So you can upload all sorts of pictures there. Okay. Next one is the text. And I really like this one because for me, I would use just the basic Roman all the time. But this kind of gives me some idea. So if I wanted to do something like this, then it just pops it right in. And then this one is where I can change colors. I can come up here and I can change the colors to different things. There we go. I didn't hit the change button. See that? That's why it didn't work before. I didn't hit the change button. So you hit change all and it changes the colors on it. Okay. And it changes it across all the pages. Or if I want to type my own thing in, I can just say add a text box. And then I can start typing right there. And I can type and I can adjust the fonts and do anything. So it's super easy to add text. And if I didn't want to type things in, I could use the draw tools and I could draw things in there. Okay. Oh, let's see.
Tools.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't play with that one, so I'm not sure why that one's not working. We'll have to come back to that one. And then projects is all the things that I've been working on. So you can put things in folders and I'll show you where they kind of live. But say I wanted to have this one, I could create a folder and I could put it in the folder. Okay, and then apps. Okay, this was kind of neat. So here is that text to image I mentioned. So if I click on this one and I say, try an example. Oh, I got fried eggs on a plate with a salad. And say, create your image. Here's that AI again. It's pulling different images because do you think you could go to Google and find a one like that is easy? So here I found it gave me 4 pictures. I can click and it puts my picture in there. So any picture that you want to try and make up, okay, then you can use this. Now there is a disclaimer, so I'm not sure that I would use this with kids because just like AI, it's something that's still a work in progress. So you might want to kind of be careful with that one with the kiddos. Are we doing on time, Clint?
10 minutes.
Okay, so then you have all these other places you can bring content from. We might have to do a Canva part 2 on this because we haven't even touched Classroom. And then these are photos. These are stock photos, so kind of like Adobe Express. These are all stock photos that are licensed for reuse that you can go through. So you could search. So again, we'll stick with the bubble themes. And so now I've got all these bubbles. I could use those for backgrounds as well, but there is a feature for backgrounds. So I can find all of these pictures. So rather than having to go out, find pictures in Google, import them into your slides or whatever you're using, everything is right here, ready to use. And again, same with the background. Okay, so here I can pick any of these backgrounds. So if I just wanted to make this one, now I've got a background. So look how easy I've created this lovely, intuitive slide, right? That makes no sense. But so you have all of these features. There's even this is an AI talking head that you can program, but that's an extra charge. They charge you credits for that. So that's how easy it is to make the slides out of it. One other thing I forgot, you can also enlarge. So if you wanted to kind of blow it up on the screen so the kids could see it, it will get bigger and smaller. But let's go back and look at the home, because this is kind of where you first start with Canva. So you get to this spot right here, and then you have all of these choices. So you can choose any of these types of things, and there's even more. You can make custom sizes. These are really great for making classroom posters, right? That you want to have printed, which we do as well. You can see the recent designs that I've been working on, but over here is where you kind of organize things. So in projects, I have made 3 folders, this one for the presentations that pop, because as I was looking through it, I kept finding, oh, this would be a good example. So there's a welcome back to school example. Okay, there's one about this or that. I don't know if you've ever used those, but I love looking at this. Would you rather have pizza or hamburger, boat or airplane? Great icebreaker, great way for kids to have a conversation when you think pair share. The first couple times the kids are really nervous because they don't really know much about the topic, but if you do something like this, then they can talk to each other. And then this one was an elementary school graduation. That would be great for the end of the year coming up. You can make one like that and celebrate your kiddos. And so then I just have other folders that I've been using for other projects that I'm working on. You can also do a brand template. So like I've added our SEDC branding. So if I want to have SEDC branding on something, I can do that. You can also invite people to share. So if I wanted to come here and share, then I could share this folder. But what's really nice is I'll get back into our presentation. There we go. I'm going to edit the original. It wants me to use the template that I've created. When you want to share these things, so after you've done all this, or you want to share, then you come up here to the share button. You can just share it with people. You can make a class group that you would share and have your kids in. And like I said, like Google Classroom, it makes a copy and gives everybody their own. Okay, so you could share it here. You could save it somewhere. You can download it. You can share it on social. You can print it. But then you have all of these other options that you can do. You could embed something and share it on social media. But then down here, you can design Google Classroom. And there isn't a Canvas link yet. I think when we set that up, you would make this in Canvas, still working on that. But look at all the different options. And that's what I told Clint. It was like going down the rabbit hole. There are so many options. So we can go deeper into that. But what I love is just the ease of being able to click and drag things over and make something super quick, super easy for the kids, And again, if the kids are doing this, then you don't really have to worry about pictures that are inappropriate. And let me get back to, so do we have any questions?
None in the chat.
Okay. I know that was a lot real fast, but I just thought it was going to be a simple, let's use Canvas. But once I started getting into it and finding out all the things it could do, I hate to keep comparing it to Google Slides because I love Google Slides, but you could really make some cute animations. You can use animations in here, gives you real easy choices on how to animate things. Super easy. Okay, so lots of different tools. Okay, so Clint.
Thanks, Chris. We'll maybe have to do a deeper dive on some, like,
Yeah.
when we get the Canva, when we get hooked up to Canvas, we can take a look and see how that compares. So a couple quick items of business for our Tech Talks. We've got a new choice board. This one's a great one. It's a lot of great end of year make and take kind of projects that you can do with your kids, or a good sort of fast finisher projects, or things you can do after you've taken that test, and there's not a lot of content that you have to go through, but lots of good things there. Some that are even unplugged options, lots of good options there. So I won't have you click on the link there, but
Oh, sorry.
that's okay. Just go pick 4 or 5 of them, or whatever it takes you about an hour to do, and then share with me what you learned, an example of what you made, how you'll use it in class this year, next, or whatever. So,
or share a Canva.
And coming up in May, we've got the link for the choice board there at the top. Next week, we'll cover digital breakouts. Those are activities that are kind of puzzles and problems that kids have to work through. Think creatively, use the 4 C's in education to break into, find all the clues and submit it in a form and win the day there. A lot of fun. And on the 9th, show you how to use Google Earth. If you've never, it's a program. There's a web version. There's also a downloadable version. But the downloadable version allows you to create tours of anywhere in the world you want to go, and then save those tours and share them with other people, with teacher, whatever else. It's really kind of a cool thing. Really good location-based sort of projects that you can do with kids. And then on the 16th, Chris, do you want to kind of cover what you're going to do that day?
And that'll actually kind of tie in with Google Earth too, because with my librarians, one thing we do is when you have books that go to different places, we make a Google Earth where it points to all the places. So if the setting is taking place, in a certain setting, you go to Google Earth and you look at that. And so this would really tie in great with what we're going to do on the 16th. Teaching books is a new program I've discovered that's really great. It helps you to teach kids about books and help find books, and has a lot of resources. And then we're going to talk about Sora, our regional ebook library, and then as well as Adobe Animate, where kids could go in and create book talks or book reviews. All of this designed because we know how much kids kind of have that summer slide, right? And we don't want them to stop reading because school's out. We still want them to be engaged in reading and be creative and curious and have fun during the summer too. So we'll show you some things that hopefully you'll have some time to share with the kids before school gets out.
Thanks, Chris. And then on the 23rd, we're guessing you guys are going to be up here with activities and kids going in 1,000 different directions. So we're just going to call the books our last episode for this school year, and hope you will join us for some of those. And let's see, go ahead to the next slide. And just a couple things we always remind you of. Utah Ed Chat tomorrow night should be good. It's from folks at USBE. They tweet under the handle UT Public Ed, and they're going to talk about meaningful inclusion. So that ought to be a great discussion tomorrow. And then a couple of podcasts we always like to refer you to, the USET podcast with Kiara, and the UEN Homeroom podcast with Matthew Winters and Danny Sloan. They do a great job with those. And lastly, that's probably the last one, I think. Oh, yeah, make sure you sign the roll. I've got the two of you here that are there. And I will post that recording onto our playlist there for the archive. So you'll be able to find all those and all the rest of the other 70 plus sessions we've done. So I think that's it.
And on time?
Yep.
I actually asked Clint earlier, I says, Clint, we're going to have to extend this Tuesday Tech Talk because there's just so much in Canva that I've learned. So
Just more weeks to talk about it.
yeah.
All right. Any other questions on Canva or anything else from you guys?
Nope, appreciate it. It's very fun to learn this stuff.
Great. It's fun to share it. Like I said, I'm just learning along with you guys. Chris barely just started digging into Canva, last week for presentations.
For presentations, yeah.
I haven't. One caveat though that will warn you: Matthew Winters loves it, is a big proponent of Canva, and took some Google Slides that his presenters made for the USAC conference, moved him into Canva to make him pretty. But we had some videos that it only brought like the first 5 seconds of the video in, or we had some animation in videos that didn't transfer over. So fair warning. I know that's kind of a more advanced kind of thing to do, but fair warning. But it looks great. It looks like a really cool tool. And if you included that stuff in the Canva program to begin with, instead of just importing it over, I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem.